What is good, Joe? Welcome back to the Upper. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are here. We are back. And Miami Heat Media Day is officially wraps. It is wrapped up. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack here. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, man. I know a lot of y'all were probably tuned in to a lot of different interviews. There were a ton of interviews out there. Go check them out. I mean, you had the official interviews from like the Heat page. You had like obviously the beat writers interviewing. You had different shows here and there, like tons and tons and tons of content. Like, it'll take you a while to get through all of them, but do go listen to at least like the interviews from the main guys and Spo. But I listened to almost every interview. I think I listened to basically everything. Yeah, mostly everything, because I listened to everything from every single player, and I think I listened to most from Spo. So yeah, I'm pretty well versed as to like what was said today, because there's a lot of information that was said, a lot of interesting stuff and thoughts from a lot of the guys in the coaching staff, or just Spo, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. I'm just gonna say right now, these guys might have me drinking the Kool-Aid this year. I'm not gonna lie, I might be a believer. I know it sounds crazy. I know we have been absolutely in shambles for the past couple years now, but I don't know why I'm just more excited going into this year than I was last year. I think the players are as well. I think the coaches are as well. I feel like it's more of a clear headspace. I think last year the whole Jimmy stuff was going on and we didn't really know what to think of that. The fans were panicking. I was panicking. I'm sure, the players were panicking. If we were like going crazy about it, like imagine what the players were feeling. But the Jimmy stuff was there. That was ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, like, because of that whole situation and because of how long it dragged out, I just don't think like anyone was comfortable last year. I feel like people were just like all over the place. I feel like, last media day, it was a bunch of turmoil still going on and we didn't really know. I mean, like during the season, it was like, we didn't know if he was going to play. We didn't know, what news article was going to break out. The whole like trade saga happened where like the Heat said they weren't going to trade him, and then Shams said he requested a trade, and then no one was like meeting the Heat's demands. And then like finally he got traded to Golden State. He wanted to go to Phoenix. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. Like the whole Bradley Beal thing, like it was ridiculous. The amount of toll that it probably took on everybody in the organization. So rightfully so, this year they're coming into the year with like a fresher mindset, clearer mindset. Obviously the end to last year's season was disappointing as well, with the whole the way it ended, the whole sweep in the playoffs. That was really embarrassing to watch as a fan, and I'm sure it was embarrassing for the players as well. But I think one of the positive points like to enter this year is the fact that like everyone knows who's going to be here. Like there's no shenanigans, no drama, nothing. It's just like pure hoops, and we know the roster. It's basically finalized. So like, yeah, I mean, like we just know like the players who are going to be here. We know what they bring. A lot of the names are familiar faces. A lot of the players that are newer are going to be able to like acclimate like fully this year, especially like not the guys who we picked up in the offseason, but the guys that we picked up like during the deadline last year, like Davion, Wiggs. Like these guys are going to be able to like fully get acclimated in situation into like the Miami Heat culture, basically. Like they're going to be able to figure out exactly what they need to do. Obviously Davion was still really good for us. Wiggs was kind of up and down, but it's going to really help them, the fact that they've had like a full summer off season as a Heat player under their belts. They've had a chance to kind of gel with everyone, the teammates, the coaches, and the new guys. Same thing. I feel like a lot of the new guys we've brought in, like we haven't brought in too many. We brought in a few here and there, but I think Norm was probably the biggest acquisition we made. I don't think he's like a stranger to having to adjust or fit in, and he's gone from playing and winning championships on the Kawhi Raptors to then playing on the Clippers still with Kawhi, but then the Paul George team and then the James Harden team. So I think Norm will be completely fine. He's going to have a bigger role to start the season because of no Tyler. That's going to be definitely something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, because no Tyler is going to be big. We still have to talk about that as well. But I think Norm will be big, man. I really think Norm is going to be huge for us. I think he's going to be able to do a lot with this team. And he's not a guy that's going to be like, hungry for taking the most shots and all that. He's going to be like able to fit in seamlessly and do his job. He's never been like a star, but he does have like moments which kind of give him star qualities. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought he could have been an all-star easily last year. He had a great year with the Clippers. So his addition is going to be seamless, I think. Precious, same thing. Like Precious has been here before, so he knows exactly what the team and the fan base and the coaching staff and the organization will expect of him. Like I don't think his role is anything like crazy. I think if he plays many minutes, it's going to be like backing up Bam or Khalil, and it's going to be like providing energy. And I think Spo is going to love it because like he just knows Precious really well. Like if it was like another backup center, then it would have been tougher probably, but we haven't really been able to fill the backup center void for the past few years. I feel like ever since the Jimmy era, I don't think we've had like a solid backup center. I feel like we've always been rotating. Obviously you think about the teams with like Myers Leonard, and then you had like Dwayne Dedman, you had Yurtseven, you had Cody Zeller. Last year we didn't really have one. Like Kevin Love was playing stretches at the 5 for us. It was just like, it was tough. We never really had like a consistent backup 5, and we definitely did need some size. So that was a good addition right there. Apart from that, I don't think we've had like major additions. Like Kasparis is an addition, but I think Kasparis is going to be able to, show his game a lot more in the G League this year. I know a lot of people are excited for him to play, me included. Like y'all know that's my boy, but I don't think Kasparis is quite ready yet to like claim full rotational minutes in the NBA. He's still a very young, raw prospect. He's super, super young, man. Kasparis is really young. And, he's an international player who's also younger. So his potential is going to be sky high. Not because of that, but also because of the fact that like the guy is just like super skilled with the ball. And he's like really, really gifted in a lot of ways. He just hasn't put everything together yet. But he's going to be able to do that in the G League. Spo loves to ease his rookies in. And I don't think it'll be any different with Cass. I think Cass is going to be able to show out in the G League. So, like I said, the additions, while they're going to be able to impact the game, I don't think they're going to be able to I don't think they're going to be having to do anything crazy. I think Norm is going to have to do his job. Precious is going to have to do his job. Kasparis, if he plays, is going to have to do his job. There's not many guys that we're gonna have to adjust or make wholesale changes or role adjustments for. A lot of the adjustments will have to come from within. And looking at the rest of this roster, I think another positive that we have going into the year is that I think defensively we're stacked. I think defensively this roster is probably as good of a roster that we've had under Spo. I'm not even exaggerating. This might be a crazy hot take, but some of the Jimmy teams, I don't think those teams are even as good defensively as what this team projects to be. Completely honest. There's not that many players on this team where you look at it and be like, oh, they're bad defenders. Maybe Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic, and I think that's about it. Fontecchio, I don't think Fontecchio is going to play too much anyway, but okay, if you want to throw in Fontecchio, cool. Apart from those three, who on this team are you looking at and saying, oh, this guy is a weak point defensively? Just look at the guys in the rotation. Norman Powell is a good defender. Wiggins is a good defender. Davion's an elite defender. Bam, Khalil, Pella, Jaime Jaquez, Keishad Johnson, Precious Achiuwa, Drew Smith, because he's probably going to be the backup PG. All these guys are going to be able to defend for us. All these guys will be able to defend for us. It's everybody playing, especially now Tyler's going to be out, which sucks, but you're probably going to have a better defensive starting lineup. Now the offense is going to hurt a lot because of no Tyler. The offense will struggle for sure. But defensively, I'm excited because I think this lineup defensively can cause a lot of havoc, they have a very scrappy defensive identity that they've put together with this team, and it's something I'm excited for because I think Spo was talking about it. And Spo mentioned the word unknown a lot in his interviews. He was there's a lot of unknowns on this team. People that have chips on their shoulder, but we're gonna have to figure out how to put everything together, and it's gonna be really exciting because all these guys have a point to prove, not to like anybody else, but to themselves and to prove them right. So it's like a lot of the unknowns on this team are gonna have to become knowns, and that's what he's excited to coach because it's intriguing. You know, like a lot of guys have like potential here and there, but it's like, can they put everything together? Can guys from past years who had down years, can they bounce back? That's another thing. It's like Tyler being hurt is going to be big because the offense will struggle, but defensively, and Spo was talking about this as well. It's like you need to have every time like the Miami Heat step on the floor, you need to know that okay, the Miami Heat are playing. Like this is the Miami Heat. Like we know, or we should know. Like he said, like particularly he said the fan base. Like the fan base should be able to tell, okay, this is Miami Heat basketball, and they're trying to establish the identity that they lost because we once had an identity. With the Jimmy teams, like we had the identity of being like a really, really like tough team, but like since like 2 years ago, last year, like it's been terrible. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's been really disappointing. It's like terrible to watch, terrible probably for them to play in. So it's like they're trying to reestablish that identity. I think they did that defensively this year. I think defensively, we've always been a pretty good defense. I feel like that's never been a weakness for this team. Like the defense has always been a good strong point for this team. But like I was saying, I think this team might be like a notch above some of the defensive teams that we've had in the past that were also really good. So I don't think anything will top that 2022 team we had defensively with like PJ Tucker and like Oladipo. Like I think that team was crazy good defensively. But like this team is going to be like really, really like up there as well. I think this team is going to be really good defensively. Like they might not score the ball at all, but I think they're a shoo-in for a top 10 defense. So I'm really excited about the defense. Tyler being out's big, but he's going to be out for I think 2 to 3 months, most likely. He said 8 to 12 weeks, so yeah, that'll be 2 to 3 months. I think that's projecting to be like earliest in January and then latest like probably like after the All-Star break, because there's no point of coming back first week of February and the All-Star break is the next week. Like you might as well just stay out till the All-Star break if you're going to come back that late. So I think he will either be back when January begins or he will be back, after the All-Star break and the whole second half of the season he'll play. That's my kind of prediction. We'll see what happens, but he is going to be out for a substantial amount of time. We're going to have guys pick up the slack here. As far as the starting lineup is concerned, I think it'll look like Davion, Powell, Wiggins. The four positions interesting. You could either have Bam and Khalil play together again, or you could have Nico and Bam play. I personally would play Bam and Khalil, but I think Nico has warranted a starting spot as well. I'm a huge fan of his game. The reason I play Bam and Khalil is because I don't want to see Bam at the 5. I think Bam at the 5 is like, it's not bad because we've had Bam at the 5 before, but I think Bam is, let's give Bam's body a break. Like he's our best player. Why are we playing him at the 5 when he's 6'9"? Like there's no reason to do that, especially in a league where there's a lot of teams that are going to be playing bigger now. Like I think it's essential to have two guys who can play in the front court like that are sizable. So I wouldn't mind to see Nico coming off the bench. I think he'd still provide a very big spark plug off the bench for this team. Like I said, there's expectations for people to, prove themselves after having down years as well on this team that we can be excited for. I'm not excited, I guess, because I'm not excited to watch Terry Rozier play, but if he does play, who knows? Maybe he could bounce back. We have no idea, but Terry Rozier has been flat out terrible since he's been part of the Miami Heat, so I don't really know what to expect of him. I don't even know if he's going to play that many minutes. They've been trying to get rid of him the whole offseason, but nobody even wants him. So he's stuck here, whether we like it or not. And he said that he's trying to, bounce back, and he's looked at himself in the mirror and said, like, hey, I need to play better and all that. That's what he said today in this interview. But I don't know. All that sounds great, but, like, when we step on the floor, we'll see, like, okay, Terry Rozier, is he back? Because if he is, then hey, all of a sudden you add another guy who can average 20 points per game into your lineup, and it's like, wow, like this is the Terry Rozier we've been asking for the whole time when we made that trade. So that would give you like a guard rotation of Mitchell, Hero, Powell, and Terry. And it's like, if all those guys are playing well, it's like that's a very good group of guards. But again, that's a long shot because Terry has been terrible since he's been a part of the Heat. So who knows, though? I feel like a lot of it, like I'm playing devil's advocate here, but a lot of it could be mental. I think the whole, like, gambling thing that was like going on with him. Definitely probably affected his game. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think players can just lose skill like that. That's like what I'm trying to like bank on. It's like there's no way this guy went from being like such a good player on the Hornets, now coming to the Heat. It's like he just lost everything. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like it has to be something more than that. I think it's a confidence issue or like a mental issue. It could be. It just could be that. And maybe he just never gets that confidence back again. But like if he does, I think he's a totally different player than what he's shown as a part of the Heat. I think he can definitely be a good player. Like I'm not expecting it, but I don't think it's out of the question. I think it's definitely possible. It's a long shot, but it's possible. And then Jaime, same thing. I think Jaime is really good, man. I think the problem with Jaime is that teams figured him out. And it could also be a confidence thing with him as well. But I think his game was just too predictable last year. I think his rookie year, he was so good to start the year. Like, this guy was crazy good for us. And he was like, his footwork was Jimmy-esque. His, moves around the rim were crazy. Like, he was able to get people in the air. He was able to draw fouls, get to the line. He played like Jimmy. He played like a veteran. He played like Gordon Hayward, Jimmy Butler, like that type of player. We were, saying, oh, Jaime Jaquez could be exactly like these guys. But, completely fell off a cliff last year. I think it's because people stopped going for the fakes and his moves were just too predictable. I think he needs to diversify his moves, especially in the post. I feel like his moves are way too predictable. And I think he needs to be able to get a reliable outside game. There's no way that, unless you really just want to play like Jimmy and just be completely mid-range and in, then your mid-range shot needs to be on point as well. So I think Jaime does have the talent. He's really young still, so it's different than Terry. I think Terry's what? He's 31, 32 now, so he's already going to the later stages of his career. Jaime is a third-year player going into this year, so he has a lot of improvements to still do, which is why I'm more hopeful for him than I am for Terry. But especially because I think the opportunity will be there. Thing with Jaime is there's no Haywood Highsmith, there's no Duncan Robinson, so it's their minutes will be there. It's on him if he's wanting to take it or not. But I'm super excited for other guys on this roster as well. I talked about Kel'el Ware, but people seem to be really high on him in the organization going into this year. They were asked about him. Apparently, he's had a tremendous summer. Obviously, people made the whole Spo thing really big. I think the whole Spo call out was blown out of proportion. A head coach is doing his job. He's just saying that Kel'el needs to play harder, and Kel'el was playing harder in the summer league game after that. So it's I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's just motivation that he's just trying to give Kel'el. Kel'el took it as motivation, took it the right way. So it's there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely nothing. I don't think there's any beef. They were even talking about it. Spo was people made it a big deal. Kel'el said the same thing. So it's the whole narrative that Spo is calling him out and stuff. He's just doing what a head coach is supposed to do. It's nothing crazy. But I think Kel'el's due for a big year, man. I really, really think so. I think people recognize how talented this guy is, and it's on him if he's willing to put everything together, because he has the talent, like I said. So super excited for him. Super excited for Pelle Larsson. I don't think there's any question mark about Pelle that he's going to be a part of this team for a while. Pelle is just a perfect fit here. Pelle is he's one of my favorite players on the team, man. I love Pelle Larsson's game. I think this guy is ridiculously underrated. I think any team in the NBA would love Pelle Larsson. Let me say that. This is I guess it's not even a hot take to me, but maybe to you guys it might be. I think every team in the NBA, Pelle Larsson can find his way onto any team's rotation. Any team. It doesn't matter if he's the 9th or 10th man. He can be on anybody's rotation. This guy is so valuable as a piece. His energy, his play, his defense's tenaciousness, his ability to set the tone, whether he has the ball, whether he doesn't have the ball, you will notice Pelle Larsson's impact no matter how many shots he takes. And the whole Derek White archetype, I can see that for him. I can definitely see that for him. So, really excited for Pelle, man. I think he's going to have a tremendous year. I think he's going to have a really increased role as well. And then one more player that I'm really excited for is Nico. I think Nico is going to be due for a tremendous year as well. I think Nico was playing really well before his hand injury last year. And I think he had a tremendous year with Serbia. I think he was showing out for Serbia. I think Serbia really benefited from Nico. I think Nico is going crazy with the national team in the Eurobasket Cup. So it was like Nico, Pella, like these guys are really exciting for this year. I'm super excited to watch them play. And in general, man, I'm just excited to watch this team because I don't think we have expectations on us. And the East really is bad this year. So who knows? I mean, like, it could be really bad, but there are players on this team that I'm like excited to watch. Like the guys that I talked about, the young guys. I think there's also emphasis on playing faster, which I'm excited about too. Like playing faster, playing with more tempo, being a more athletic team, playing harder defensively, still being a really good team. Like there are still things to be excited about here. I know the team in general is not going to be like top of the top or anything like that, but like I think they can be a fun team. I think that's all we can ask for as a fan base right now, because we've definitely not had fun watching Heat basketball over the past 2 years. Let me say that. So we'll see what happens. Again, I know training camp will start pretty soon in Boca. They're going to go up to Boca, to FAU, which they always do. So that'll be fun. I think they'll probably go to the Bahamas as well. So that'll be fun as well. But definitely expect a lot more coverage from me as we talk about, the Heat more and more as we go into the season. I'm super excited for Heat basketball to come back and the NBA to start in general. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, man, about the whole media day stuff. And yeah, I'll see you later as always. Peace.